All right, a great afternoon to everyone who has joined us on today's edition of the show Scoreboard Reloaded, right on 32 FM 94.9. Yes, all about match day 3 of the African Cup of Nations, where you tell that some teams they are through into the next round, which is the round of 16, and for some they are out of the competition. For Angola, a few for them, a goalless draw against the Pharaohs of Egypt yesterday, and of course they are out of the competition. Their captain, and that's talking about Freddie, wasn't here yesterday because of their ouster from the 35th edition of the African Cup of Nations. We talk about Ronan Williams as well, the captain of the Bafana of South Africa. He also threw in that his weight, his voice, into their progression into the round of 16 of the African Cup of Nations. And then we talk about some of the heroes, some of the stars of the Atlas Lions of Morocco. Yesterday, it's all about Brahim Diaz and the Olympiacos striker, 𝐿-𝐾𝐈𝐒, where, of course, he's just a poster boy. He loves scoring acrobatics. While 3 games, 2 acrobatic goals from 𝐿-𝐾𝐈𝐒. Yesterday, of course, he scored 1. And, of course, remember match day 1 against Comoros, he also scored 1. But later today, by 5 p.m., the attention would be between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Cranes of Uganda. What will be the final outcome of the Super Eagles of Nigeria? And, of course, can they be that side that will conclude the group phase of the African Cup of Nations without a defeat, and of course securing maximum points? The actions by 5 p.m. first, Tanzania against Tunisia, and also Uganda against Nigeria. 8 p.m. later today, we'll see Benin Republic play against Senegal, and Botswana will be up against the Democratic Republic of Congo. Outside the African Cup of Nations, we also have games set to go down on the European scene. The English Premier League, Burnley against Newcastle, Chelsea against Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest against Everton, West Ham against Brighton, Aston Villa against Arsenal, and Manchester United against the Wolverhampton Wanderers. The biggest game for today happens to be the game between first and third. That's Arsenal Football Club and Aston Villa. Will it be a good payback for Arsenal to get one over Aston Villa, who defeated them with a last-minute kick there at the Villa Park? True who? What's his name now? Buenda, who scored that goal against Arsenal Football Club. That was in the first leg. For Arsenal Football Club, set to be without a few players. The likes of Ricardo Calafiori, not certain if he's going to be playing later today, but it's so good that Gabriel Magalhaes is back. And also, yet to be seen if Kai Havertz would make the match day squad later today at the Emirates Stadium. Once again, good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of the show Scoreboard Reloaded, right on 32 FM 94.9. You're listening to the voice of Oluwatimile and SAMIES. So get on the program this lovely Tuesday afternoon. I have DOLAPO with me and also Peter with me in the studio. They are my left-hand men on the show this afternoon, and together we also take a look at all the managing stories that make it around here in the world of sports. No tension. Well, definitely, I will tell you that the tension is not going to be in it for the Super Eagles of Nigeria later today, because we've qualified to the African Cup of Nations, a round of 16. But it is also left to be seen who our opponent is going to be in the next phase of the competition. And of course, when I talk about the next phase of the competition, who are the Super Eagles of Nigeria likely to face, that's talking about Mozambique or Angola. Now, Angola are out of the competition.
Yeah, no.
You think Angola or not?
Yeah,
2 points.
Yeah, they can still qualify as the third best loser. Still possible.
Well, let me allow the guys weigh in, because for me, I'm writing out Angola from the African Cup of Nations. But before we listen to what the boys have to say, let's take a listen to the words of their captain, that's Freddie, who also asked this to say about their performance yesterday and what it looks like Angola being out of the African Cup of Nations proper at this point in time. For DOLAPO and Peter, I think they say that Angola, they stand a chance of making it into the next round, which is the round of 16. Let's take a listen to the words of Freddie.
It's difficult for me to speak because can be my last game for national team. I give everything I can to win to qualify. I don't know what happened. I will pray for God to help us to go, because I don't want to be my last game for my country, because 12 years. I fight a lot for this country, and it's difficult, guys. It's difficult. So sorry to say, but thank you very much.
All right, so then we'll listen to the words of Freddie.
Freddie.
Good afternoon, Peter.
Good afternoon, Samis. Thanks for having me. Like was saying here, and of course, good to also be here. Thanks for your time. I don't know what to say. I didn't see that. I didn't even notice that the Angolan captain cried after the game yesterday against Egypt. So what is making him cry is what I don't get. I understand the emotion that comes with the game, but you're playing against Egypt. And maybe what is bitter about it is that they could not beat a second